Okay, this is where our hot water heater is. And there's this little tube right there. The exhaust vent tube, whatever you want to call it. The hot water heater works great. We've got unlimited water when it's hot. But in order to get it to be hot, if it rains, water will go into that little space right there and fill up the tube, and then our water won't get hot. And it took us quite a while to figure it out, the couple of times it happened when we were in Connecticut. But now that we live in Florida, it rains almost every day at some point, and sometimes really, really, really hard. And it's very challenging to remember that we always have to check and make sure that the tube is clear before we try to get in the shower. So, I'm not going to videotape myself doing it, but I'll just put the camera someplace else and you can listen. So, as strange it is, I have just blown in that little tube to clear the water out. So now, I can take a hot shower.
So, a couple of weeks back, my husband claimed that our water was yellow and looked gross and tasted bad. So, upon investigation, we couldn't figure it out at first, but when I went to bathe the dog, I took off the part of the hose to put on the spray nozzle, and I decided to look down the garden hose, and this is what I saw. Algae! Algae growing on the inside of our hose. So I went online and I decided to see what other people do about this situation. Most of the resources out there say to soak your hose in bleach. I'm allergic to bleach and I didn't like that idea, so I kept investigating. Some said hydrogen peroxide. Okay, that's getting a little better. And some actually said vinegar. So I went down and I bought a bottle of household cleaning vinegar. I poured it into the hose, and then I just screwed the two ends of the hose together and I let it sit. I went out and I shook the hose up really good a couple of times while it was sitting. I went to work, I came home, I shook it again. All said and done, the vinegar probably stayed in the hose for about 10 hours. And then when I drained the hose and rinsed it, guess what? The algae was gone. Our hose was clean, and all is well in our drinking water situation again. We do find, though, that now that we live in Florida and it is really hot and our water line is directly in the sun, we do have to let the water run for several minutes, unfortunately, before we get fresh, cool water from underground and not the stale, gross water that's been baking in the hose all day. But at least we are not drinking water infused with algae. Yay!